Welcome to Moksa Workflow Manager Training movies. This is exercise number 6, in which I'm going to tell you about moving and copying and redirecting records in a task. There are several ways and several reasons for which you could move records around, and we are going to start with building a new workflow in which I'm going to explain the different possibilities. New workflow means that I'm selecting a new category, I'm giving it a name, I'll call it Move Records, and I'm going to the workflow graph. First thing we always need to do is select a user group for the first task, a user from the user list. I'm going to say the first task is going to be performed by the design department. And if I have a look in my task, in my workflow, I select the swim lane or user list and I can add a new task. The very first task I'm going to add is copy record task. I know that in the environment that we're working in, that the users are allowed to search for records and add them to the workflow. There's no guarantee that the records they're searching for, that they are in the workflow assets catalog. Now, maybe if we are going to work on these assets, work on these files, we want to bring them into a protected environment. So in this example, I'm going to move the records to my workflow assets catalog. I can choose move or copy. I'm going for copy, and the catalog name is workflow assets. Create. That means that any file that is uploaded inside, any file that is uploaded or provided in the workflow portal will first be moved to the catalog, if the record is not already in that catalog, of course. The second step in this workflow is that we are going to redirect some assets. If people are uploading files, then you have the ability to upload either to the input records or to the instruction files in the workflow portal. But maybe some instruction files are already available in your Cumulus catalog, and those cannot be added to the instruction files. So what I'm going to do is, I know that per definition there are some text files coming in, or some style guides, or some predefined file types coming in. So I'm going to add a task which is called redirect asset task. This redirect asset task will search for instructions, and we are going to set a query here. This is a Cumulus query. If you don't know the format of the Cumulus query, just go to the Cumulus client advanced window, advanced search window, and create the query there, and then you can put the query, copy paste the query here. I'm going to make a very simple example. I'm saying record name contains, and I'm going to say .pdf. So I'm saying if a PDF is delivered to the workflow, I want to pick it up in this step. So I'm creating this task. If I have a look in my task, from, let's put it a little bit bigger, from this first task, I'm going to add the copied records to a second task. And in the second task, search for instructions, I will now redirect the files. I will go two ways. One way will be that the records that are valid are going to be moved into the workflow instructions. So that's one task I'm going to add. I'm going to say record to instruction. Move PDF to instruction. Create. And here I'm selecting the outlet query results from this record. So the query results based on what is coming in is going to the instructions. Of course, the other files go to an approval task or a commission task. In this case, we will first add a commission task. So I'm saying new workflow task, commission task. And I'm going to say create flyer. I'm asking the user to create a flyer. I can personalize all this text and title, and as we've seen in previous examples, I want to keep it simple, and I want to make sure that it's uploaded in the workflow assets catalog in the protected environment. I'm creating the task and I add it to my provided records. Nope, oh, I'm wrong. I want no records. This is a mistake. I don't want this after this. I'm going to delete this. I want the outlet from other records going to there. Now this person is commissioned to provide a file. So we've redirected the instructions files to the instructions, and now this person has the ability to create his or her design and upload it in the task. Once this task is performed, we can now, for instance, send this to another department for approval. For instance, we can send this to the sales department. Okay, got the sales department, and in the sales department we are going to add an approval task. Approve flyer. And the approval is a single user approval, so I don't have to modify anything. I can keep the default values, and that means that from here I select the outlet and I want the uploaded files to go here. And after that task, I'm going to make a new task called instruction to records. And as I'm connecting this to the approved, new outlet, approved, and after this we are going to create, for instance, a new swim lane, a new user list, and we are going to mail to management the approved design. So here we are adding a create collection task, and the create collection task says approved flyer. And I have to enable the fact that we're creating a collection task. Create. And that means from here, the outlet, the instruction records, and the provided, we want to send on both. We're first taking the provided. And after the provided, I'm also going to send the instruction records that he just picked up. And he's sending both to a create collection task, which will be mailed to management. So here's an example on how you can move files around in your workflow, copying them to another catalog, redirecting them based on a query to another part of the workflow, and bringing instruction files back in, sending files to instruction files and bringing them back into the input records when you need them back into the input records for instance, creating a collection basket to them. So this was another example of using Workflow Manager. In the second movie of this exercise, we will run this workflow. Thank you for joining. See you in the next movie.